On this episode of TFL Truck, it's boost time. Right there is a Ford F-250 Super Duty. It's got a Godzilla V8 gas engine, but it's supercharged. And this is the first proper real-world test. On this episode, I'm gonna show the truck to you on a dyno, and then we're gonna put it to a torture test. 0 to 60 with 15,000 pounds, and also an empty truck. And at the very end of the video, I'll let you know the pricing on this setup, and you might be surprised about the price. And of course, this video would not be possible without our friends at 5 Star Tuning. Use the link below in the description of this video, check them out. They have tuning solutions for every EcoBoost engine, actually most trucks, not just Fords. And of course, now the supercharged solution for your V8 Super Duty. This truck is actually kind of a sleeper because it's mostly factory, actually. It's a crew cab, four-wheel drive, F-250. It's got stock wheels, suspension, exhaust system in stock. All of the magic behind this truck is the supercharger from ProCharger and of course the 5 Star tune. So let's get it on the dyno, let's strap it in and see what it makes in the real world.
So at 2,000 RPMs, your torque's jumping right up. At 2,500, you're 450 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow.
You know, and then you got horsepower coming all the way out here to 5,700 RPMs, and that's where your peak is. Max horsepower is 5,700 at 582. Max torque's 592 foot-pounds of torque at 4,750.
So it's somewhere in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's a nice flat torque curve the entire time. It's not like a big jump. So you're pulling the entire time. I think there's more RPM in the engine.
Okay.
But there's a hard limit from Ford in it at 5,700. So that's where we let out. But if we can get past it, I think there's a lot more horsepower gains there to be had.
Yeah, guys, that's right. This is why I'm here. The supercharged Godzilla. It's right here. It's pretty simple. This ProCharger system, it's a centrifugal system, belt driven, based on the RPM. It's also intercooled. There's an intercooler hiding behind the grill right here in the front. All of the duct work, everything is included. You have two intake options. You can get this one. They call it a race version of it. You can also go to a stock air box if you want to make it a little bit quieter. And the only other thing done to this truck, it has an oil catch can right here under the hood. But other than that, it's, you know, it fits pretty nicely. Yeah, and it almost looks factory. I was here about a year ago when we tested the fully stock 7.3 liter V8 truck, and we saw gains with a supercharger of about 223 horsepower and 187 pound-feet of torque. All right, but that's nice. That's just dyno work. Let's get it on the road and find out how quick it is. All right, so I'm going to be in normal mode. This truck is equipped with a 355 rear end, and a 430, they tell me, doesn't, you know, change the behavior too much. I'm gonna be doing all of my 0 to 60s in four-wheel drive. No way! 5.23. What? This is a 7,000 pound truck. It's got so much power and torque, it's absurd. Jeez. So, so the red line is about 5,700 RPM. When this truck is on full boil, it just sounds like almost like a rocket ship, because I can hear the intake noise from the front passenger side. I can hear the exhaust. But right now, just driving it with no trailer at about 1,200 RPM, it feels totally normal, docile, nice and quiet. And then you step on it and over 3 grand of RPM, boom, it just goes into this rocket ship mode. So the truck right now has stock headers, stock exhaust, correct?
Correct.
And this is the system that you're gonna put on it?
Yeah, so these are American Racing headers. We're gonna put these back on. I believe you'll pick up somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 horsepower with the headers and the exhaust. That's gonna be really fun. I'm excited to try that.
But you don't have to do the headers, right?
You don't have to do the headers. You can only do just we do an MBRP exhaust. Fits nice, looks good, sounds good.
Ooh, but wait, there is more. I found another Super Duty. This is also a 2020 7.3 liter Godzilla truck. This is a crew cab 4-wheel drive platinum, fully stock. No Pro Chargers, no Superchargers, no tunes right now. Fully stock truck, and I want to show you 0 to 60 just to compare to that supercharged beast. Same procedure, 4-wheel drive, flat footing it, no brake torquing whatsoever. All right, let me try this. Okay, it sounds good. Come on. What? 8.23. That's 3 seconds. You're getting 3 seconds in a supercharged truck. I've tested many Super Duty trucks in the latest Power Stroke diesel, but by itself, this supercharged V8 is the quickest Super Duty I've ever tested. But it's time to hook up the trailer. This trailer weighs around 7,000 pounds. Of course, this lifted tremor truck on top of it is a little bit more. And we weighed it, we're just over 15,000 pounds, just a hair over the rating of this truck. So don't try this at home. But this is a torture test. Let's do this. So I've just enabled tow haul mode. I'm gonna go in 4 high. When manufacturers state their numbers, they're usually talking in terms of crank horsepower, and this is over 600. This is definitely more than any, factory diesel or even a lightly tuned diesel would do. All right, let's see what it does with a big load behind it. Ooh, dang! All right, here we go. All right, here I go. My first time is 16.15. Let's talk about supercharger pulleys, because there are a lot of options. This pulley right here is on the truck right now. It produces about 8 psi, and according to the guys at 5-Star, this is the maximum power you can make. It matches the supercharger, this particular one, perfectly. So maximum horsepower, maximum torque gains. Then you could also go slightly larger pulley, lower psi, about 6 psi, making a little bit less power. And finally, you can go to a 4 psi pulley, which is a little bit larger. And the difference between the 4 psi and 8 psi is about 40 horsepower. So if you are not looking for those maximum numbers, but you're towing every day, you're not losing a lot of power, and you're dealing with your heat a little bit better. If you were to purchase a brand new Ford Super Duty truck, and you went for the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel, you would pay about $8,200 more than the Godzilla to start. But you could pay $6,000, maybe a little bit more with custom tuning for this Pro Charger system, still less expensive than the diesel, and have a gas-powered truck that makes over 600 horsepower, potentially. Yeah, I think that's a very attractive proposition. And of course, you can take it further. You can do custom headers, exhaust system. You can, put a slightly larger tire on the truck. I mean, really make it your own, really make it awesome. So you pick up 3 seconds 0 to 60 like I just showed you with a supercharged system and a custom tune from 5-star, and the kit starts at about $6,000, but with the HP tuner and then also the custom tune, it's about $6,700 to get you a truck like this, and that's cheaper than the diesel. That's pretty awesome. And as always, go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real world. This doesn't get more real than this. Reviews.